This is Rudo Radio coming to you from the 559.
Hello and welcome to SB Nation and Cageside Seats Wrestling Podcast. I am joined as always by Marc Normandin. Marc, how are you?
What's the name of the podcast, Nick?
Rudo Radio.
Good. I'm glad our listeners know. If they didn't know by now, that would be kind of strange since they've clicked on it and presumably hooked up Bluetooth and are doing this on purpose. If you're here accidentally, well, keep listening.
Should I restart?
No, don't. You know what? Just fuck it. Whatever. Just. It's Rudo Radio on SB Nation and Cageside Seats, depending on where you found it, or SoundCloud, or iTunes, or whatever. I don't know. The internet is full of wonder.
And to prove from the beginning that we can't have nice things, we actually have a guest this week, Ariana Vives. Ari, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. You've written for With Spandex and, correct me if I'm getting this wrong, Bitch Media?
Yes. I know the name sounds kind of, startling at first, but, it's the feminist response to popular culture. It's been around since the mid-90s, and they have a pretty happening online component, and I've written about wrestling for them, just common, feminist social commentary, that kind of thing. Wrote about Sexy Star, my fave.
Because you are a Lucha superfan? Is that the technical term?
Yes, a Lucha Underground superfan, yes.
And we'll get to this later because most of this episode is going to be previewing Ultima Lucha Dos, but you've been to a taping?
I have been, yeah. January 2015, I went to the taping where the first grave consequences occurred.
The best grave consequences.
Yes, not too grave, two consequences. The first grave consequences where Mil and Phoenix wrestled literally right in front of me, just kind of pushed me out of the way and hit each other with chairs right in front of me. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's living the dream.
Yeah, they actually bled on me too. So
That's
thankfully,
not streaming, but...
yeah, but thankfully, my seat neighbor had some Purell, so it's all good.
You always have to Purell after death and life both bleed on you, so...
Just kind of hope they cancel each other out, really.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too much death blood on you, though, because I don't know if Purell's going to get all of that out by itself.
Yeah. That roots in your cloths. So we're just gonna because we want to get to Ultima Lucha Dos, we wanted to do a real quick roundup of Raw. I just wanted to talk about your favorite thing because it was a throwaway episode. So, I mean, there's stuff did happen. They booked a couple of matches, but it was mostly a throwaway episode. So, Marc, what was your favorite part of Raw last night?
Speaking of throwaway, I love the food fight. It was great. It was ridiculously loud and stupid. I like that a big holiday party was the only way to get heels and faces to get along with each other for the most part. But then they dropped everything because everyone hates the Miz.
Yeah, he's such a glorious heel. Ari, what was your favorite part of this week's Raw?
Sasha Banks's promo. Just when she said, "No, sweetie, I am the conversation," I was basically that gif of all of those guys who are, all those
Oh, they're wiling out in front of the tree.
Yeah, that one. That was me.
I just need someone to make that gif with Sasha's head on it.
Oh, I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, it's gotta be there.
My favorite part, as anyone who has listened to this show before would know, was Rusev crushing. I thought for a second they were either going to go one of two ways with it. They were going to either he dies Titus O'Neil and have Darren Young come out and try to save him, or they were gonna have him win. They did neither, but I liked where they landed, which was Rusev winning the match he should have won. I love Rusev, and he can do no wrong in my eyes, and it was truly a great happy Rusev day yesterday.
And he called Americans little weenies or something, right?
Go eat your burgers and enjoy your little weenies or something like that. It's such a childish joke, but man, it killed me.
Yeah.
Rusev's so hilarious. I don't know if they just let him improv whatever a lot of the time, because he's really good at it. His Twitter account is evidence.
His Twitter is amazing.
But if someone wrote that for him, it is someone who understands exactly what Rusev is supposed to be. So either way, awesome. Nick, can I have a second favorite?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I guess it is our podcast, and I can just hold it hostage until you let me. But AJ Styles and the club's promo about what they're gonna do on all the special days over the year, and just ending everything with, I think I'm going to beat up John Cena. It's just so over the top and stupid, and Cena was getting so tired of it, but there was nothing he could do.
And it's a nice turn of the tables where Cena repeats himself, every single time he says something. He's said it before. I thought it was a really good, just you. This is what it's like listening to you talk every single week. I thought that was a nice. Do we have a least favorite thing that happened on Raw, or was it such a white bread episode that it really didn't?
Oh, I really liked the episode. I also started it at 9:10, so I could fast forward through commercials and everything. But
I could do without another Dolph Ziggler match ever again. But other than that, I'm sorry. He
wrestled someone new.
Yeah,
but he's not going to wrestle for 3 months.
That is true. That was the one silver lining of that match. Ari, if you don't know, I do not like Dolph Ziggler. And this is probably going to get me yelled at, the only wrestler I'd rather see less work a match would be Rey Mysterio.
Dude.
I'm sorry.
I laid into him last week, so you can have that at this time.
Yeah. We can, when we talk about Puma, Ray, you can just yell at me.
Oh my God. Well, that's all the time I have for this podcast.
Good going, Nick.
No. I'll have to side with you on Dolph Ziggler, though. I was a pretty big Ziggler fan, but just he hasn't really progressed as much as I would like. And I mean, I know that most of it is really not his fault, but I'm just really tired of him saying that he is owed a bigger spot because he has more heart than anyone, and he's just I'm here, I come out, I steal the show, blah blah, and it's just the same thing over and over again, and I'm just kind of bored with it.
He's not doing much show stealing lately.
Not really.
Or girlfriend stealing. He's not doing much of any stealing. Except for Shawn Michaels' gimmick, if you look at his mentions.
Ooh, that's mean.
I said if you look at his mentions, I'm not saying it to him. It's really not accurate. It's just a super kick blonde thing, so then people assume he's completely Shawn Michaels, but he's only 66% Shawn Michaels. Come on.
Yeah, some of him is Bret Hart. There's also a little Bret Hart in him, in the sense that, Ari hinted at, he has a tendency to complain about his spot on the roster without necessarily having much to, back it up.
I think the most I've enjoyed him in the last few months happened on Monday, though. It was after he pretended he didn't know who Vicky Guerrero was, which I didn't like. Oh, also, I like that Vicky Guerrero came back, but obviously.
I actually really hated that. I loved that Vicky came back, but I hate that Dolph didn't acknowledge her at all.
Yeah, I hate that. Because again, are you a face, Dolph? But yeah. I liked after when he was pretending to talk on his cell phone, and he's just I lost again, but I tried really hard.
he was talking to his mom.
It's just so that line was the most I've liked Dolph Ziggler in months. Just I lost again, but I tried really hard.
Oh my goodness.
That is, I'm pretty sure his motto at this point is I lost again, but I tried really hard. So did we want to talk about anything in particular with NXT?
Stuff happened, right? Bailey came back.
Yeah.
And
wait, was that the week before? I don't remember.
No,
now.
that was the week before. Finn and Shin had the dueling video promos that were both kind of.
Oh, it was the same promo twice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure verbatim. That was funny. I kind of enjoyed that.
So here's a sick thing. Since I watched NXT prior to this, because I tend to catch up on NXT in just swaths, since I don't really watch it as religiously as I do Lucha Underground. One of my favorite things that happened on NXT was at the very end when Jason Jordan, I think, did like a German suplex on, I don't know what their names are, like Authors of Pain. I don't know who's who. I'll just call him Author One.
Oh, like, they don't have names yet. Either.
They don't have names. Okay.
Yeah.
So he just suplexed the hell out of the much bigger one, and that was dope. I enjoyed that.
That end segment was really great. I like that they're kind of passing the torch to Gargano and Ciampa. The revival just continues to be really great jerks.
Yeah, they have got the old school jerks thing down, and I love their whole like
they're great.
Their top guy spiel where they're just like, I know, because I'm a top guy.
Just wish they'd wear the members only jackets more often, then we'd be set.
Yeah, I want them to sell those members only jackets. My fiance doesn't want to hear this because we're getting an apartment next month, but I would totally spend an inordinate amount of money on one of those member jackets. Hey, sweetie, I love you. Did anybody we want to talk about Cien Almas or
Cien Almas?
Yeah, sorry, yes. Cien Almas.
You've got a Spanish speaker here. I'm sorry. I may be correcting you on some things.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Because I can't pronounce anything.
Someone has to educate Nick, who still says Ciampa every time he says his name. Yeah, I know. I can't break him of it.
Ciampa.
And I'm Italian, so you figure I'd be able to pronounce. I'm just a bad person, honestly. Sounds like we're ready to talk about Lucha Underground's 3-part season finale.
3 parts.
Ultima Lucha 2. I wanted to start with the For a Unique Opportunity, which
Dario is so proud of that. He's just that smug ass look he has on his face that I love so much. He's just like, guys, see what I'm gonna do here? Do you get it? Do you get it? Because 4 is a number and a word.
Oh man, I love him so much. That when I went to that Lucha Underground taping, I was actually there as press, and I had gone there also with Uproxx's Brandon Stroud. Shout out to Brandon. And we ended up interviewing some people, like just meeting them, and one of the people we met was Dario Cueto, and I wasn't really sure if he was going to be in character or not. And also, just for my particular article, I wasn't going to interview him. I didn't need to interview him, but I didn't really know how to say that without sounding rude. But so we just talked for a bit while Brandon was talking to, I think, Conan. And then when it was Brandon's turn to interview Dario, the actor, Luis, I was, I guess, talking with him like when he was, just Luis or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I guess Brandon's ready. And Luis just snapped into Dario character immediately. And he's like, wait a minute, you don't want to interview Dario Cueto? What the hell is wrong with you?
That's the best story I've ever heard in journalism.
That's No, he was great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You got to, yeah. I'm also interested in the mix of people in this match, because you have Cage and Mac, who are always great running directly into each other very fast, and Tejano and Son of Havoc. Out of the four of them, I have the least, I don't want to say interest, but the least, I'm expecting the least out of Tejano. Is that fair? Or do I just not get Tejano?
I don't get him as much as a face. I liked his heel run last season.
Yeah.
A little more. I feel like there's a piece missing for me where he became a face. I remember when it happened, it felt like we skipped a couple steps along the way. So I'm still not really, I enjoy watching him in the ring, but like if it was a one-on-one match for something really important, I probably wouldn't be as happy about it.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the how do you feel about Tejano, Ari?
I mean, I like Tejano. He just kind of gives me like this Mexican redneck vibe with the bull rope. But I really enjoy him. I'm just not sure that out of the four who are in the match that I would, place all my bets on him necessarily.
Oh no, I definitely think Cage is winning this.
Yeah. I've got it down to either Cage or Mac, but it's gonna likely, this is me without reading spoilers, obviously, but I'm going with Cage.
Yeah, I think so too. Mark?
Yeah, Cage feels like he should win any match that doesn't involve Matanza, which is pretty much how this season went for him. I just don't know what the unique opportunity is. And with Cueto, that could be just about anything. Since last season, the unique opportunity was like, okay, whoever loses is out of the company now, right?
Yeah, he's a jerk, I think is what you're getting at. And unique doesn't mean good, it means, unique.
Well, sometimes it can mean unique. Wasn't the Gift of the Gods belt a unique opportunity?
Yeah.
Those medallions?
Yeah, and that could be part of what, but they'd have to have because the Gift of the Gods Championship is in this match and has to be cashed in. I know way too much about the bylaws of the temple. Sorry. But yeah, I think it has to be for some sort of chance for something and not so I guess sometimes it's good, but even that's kind of like you have to go into this terrible, really tough match to get a chance at this belt, and then you have to face the champion who's usually some sort of demon. So it feels because it's not the Money in the Bank where you can just cash it in. Even the Gift of the Gods Championship is more like just setting up a match for the person, so you can't even catch them by surprise.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like he would get a chance to face the Gift of the Gods champion. I mean, if they were doing that, it would be all heels that Cueto could manipulate.
Yeah, that's true.
So man, I don't know, but that's I kind of count on them to deliver, which is that's a good feeling. I'm sure it will be interesting, probably violent. Whatever it is will probably be violent.
Hopefully violent. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Hopefully it's violent. So we all have Cage. We all have it being some sort of thing that's good but not totally good. Right?
Hey, did you know he's a machine?
I thought he was a man this entire time, so thanks for clearing that up.
No, you should watch Lucha Underground with the sound on.
Oh, okay. Seems like a lot of extra work for me.
Yeah.
Also, I'd have to listen to Vampiro and Matt Striker, who's worse.
I actually like them, which is still.
I think they've gotten better.
Oh, definitely. But I mean, mostly not having to hear talking about gender, weird, gender politics. That's super nice to not have to deal with that.
It is weird how they're like, we don't even have to bring up how weird this is right now, right?
Right? Please? All right. Speaking of not having to bring up how weird it is, Ivelisse and Taya, which is my match of the night.
Yes.
I think this is going to be the sleeper. I have talked extensively about how much I love Ivelisse and Taya both. I think they're two of the best workers in the company. So you Ari, this is the match for which you are most excited?
Yes, that and Gift of the Gods. But definitely Ivelisse versus Taya, because I've just absolutely loved Taya's work this entire season. I cannot believe that we almost got Melina instead. I'm so happy we have Taya. It's really hard for me to talk about this without like just kind of not descending into just gibbered squeals about how great it is to see like these two like luchadoras wrestling in the temple and probably not having like any necessary restrictions necessarily, because I feel like for a long time the women's division in the WWE, not necessarily because they want to be, but because like the people in management need them to be, they're very concerned with wrestling a match and still looking hot. You know what I mean? Like still looking good.
Not covered in blood like the end of the
end of No Mas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they can't look like they've been sweating, basically. So I'm really expecting these two to just go all out.
I think they know the opportunity that this is going to be. I don't know. I don't read any spoilers for Lucha at all, except for one we'll get to in a little bit. Yeah, for me, I don't know if they're going to do this, but I feel like if there's a women's title at some point for Lucha, that it should be a rematch of these two, because for me, they are I like Sexy Star. Mariposa, I can take or leave, but I think these are two of the best workers in the company, let alone any women's division, regardless. So I'd really like to see if there's a championship for it to be a rematch between these two. Do you have somebody else you'd rather see as women's champion if they were to come up with that title, either of you? I
really, really want them to bring Fabi Apache into Lucha Underground eventually, because Taya has had a blood feud with Fabi, with the Apaches in AAA, and I've enjoyed their matches together in AAA, so I would like to see them bring her up if they can. I don't know if they have any plans to, or if there have been, any issues with work visas or whatever, but I would love to see that happen.
Do you have somebody else you'd rather see as the women's champion in Lucha Underground, Mark?
I mean, if they were doing a women's championship, Ivelisse should absolutely win it. And I love Taya. I'm not like familiar with her work outside of it, so I'm very intrigued by what Ari was just talking about. I would like to see that on television that I watch. I do wonder when Lucha Underground will have one of the women win just the Lucha Underground championship. Like, we've had some teases that there would be the chance, with the Gift of the Gods matches and the opportunity to get, more medallions for it. And there were two women in the Gift of the Gods match this time, the second one this season. Who do you think would be the first woman to be Lucha Underground champion?
I think that's a hard question because you don't know the reason they would have the title. Yeah. So in storyline, Katrina could just be like, "I'm queen of the temple," and make that the title. And I don't think that they would go for that low-hanging fruit, but they could, because Katrina's an awesome character who could carry that version of the title and have another wrestler wrestle for her, basically, with her still being the champion. I could see them doing something like that because she can summon demons, so I don't see why she can't possess another person. But I think in terms of actual who is the best performer that would do the best for the title in terms of having good matches and intriguing storylines, I think it's Ivelisse.
Yeah, I guess if you want to do a face, Ivelisse is the way to go. Well, man, Sexy Star's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, she has been, and I mean, my concern with Sexy Star is that she might be treading dangerously close to John Cena territory, like bad John Cena territory, where she just never loses. But I feel like that would be just like a really great cap on her just career thus far in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I can definitely, Sexy is the one wild card where exactly what you said, she's such a star in the temple that making her champion might end up being like, well, we have to keep the belt on her forever now. And we have to do more and more convoluted ways. Also, it looks like the I Quit or the last man standing match is her specialty. So, yeah, you're going to have her just, whoever she has to beat, she beats in that match. Like John Cena does with last man standing matches.
It's going to be lots of ambulances in the temple just for people all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would end up there, and there would also be like a stage box that you could put somebody in and then put another box on top of them. There's so many options. You could also tape them to geez Louise. There's just so many.
You can take them to the Luchadoras locker room. They've shown it before on YouTube videos. There's this really neat graffiti art in the Luchadoras locker room of just a female luchadora in pigtails and wearing a pink mask. I don't think they've shown it on TV in a long time, but I know that it's there.
Yeah, and then you just tape them to that, and they can't move. And you're done. And you mold them correctly. That's what I would do. It's genius. So the next match, Ivelisse or Taya, who wins this? I almost didn't get a prediction. That would have been bad.
My money is.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say my money's on Taya because I feel like she will do anything, whatever it takes to win, including just being her normal, wonderful jerk self.
That's as good a reason as any. Mark?
I am torn between impossible to beat healing and Taya getting her comeuppance because she has really kind of inserted herself into everything around her, or not even really around her at some times this season. And Ultima Lucha Dos would be a good time to end it, but hey, it is Lucha Underground, so doesn't necessarily have to have the good guy win. Yeah, Taya. I mean, underhandedly, obviously.
God willing.
I mean, she's such a great fit with Johnny Mundo because they're both just so supremely talented, and they really will just punch you in the dick if it's faster.
Yeah, it's their charm is the dick punching when it's convenient for them. I will be picking Ivelisse because I am ride or die with Ivelisse. I've said that before and I'll say it again. I like Taya, but I think they're going to do something with. I just don't see her winning this match, point blank. The next match is El Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Black Lotus. So Black Lotus is in canon killed someone.
Just murdered the shit out of them.
Yeah, just murdered them with her palm. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm picking Black Lotus. I don't care how many spinny DDTs El Dragon Azteca Jr. does.
I'm gonna do a PT DDT to her. I am going to actually murder you in the middle of the ring with my palm.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like this will be one where there's no conclusion because something will happen to make them realize they shouldn't be fighting each other, but because it's such a weird place to have El Dragon Azteca hasn't had a real showcase match yet. Not as a singles competitor. And this is Black Lotus's debut. So it feels weird to have, the complete end happen for someone so soon. You've been building up Black Lotus for 2 years just to have her lose and be shamed or whatever. Unless, she loses and realizes Dario's lying, but we still don't know if he's lying. So, oh man, now I'm just twisting myself into.
Well, if I recall correctly, at some point, either she or another character had mentioned that there is a clan that she's got, I guess, maybe she's got like an army of putties at her disposal also, and I feel like that might factor into this match, that instead of her fighting El Dragon Azteca Jr., that just, I don't know, mysterious, masked lucha figures are going to come out and like do the dirty work for her, or just like the match will end at a DQ or something. I don't know. But I really want to see where that's headed.
Can it be like Kill Bill with the and just a whole bunch of
the crazy 88?
Yes, just like Japanese luchadors come out, all wearing masks and suits, and just there's only the one El Dragon Azteca, and he's only a junior. Okay, now I need that to happen.
Yeah. Oh, you need a bunch of people to be murdered with swords?
No, just one.
Television? Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Just the one.
Yeah, come on.
I mean,
I'm not a sadist. If I were, I'd be running Lucha Underground.
Yes, this is true. Do we have any idea of Dario? Dario or Dario?
Dario. Well, I mean, it's Dario, but like if you're pronouncing it with an American accent, it's just Dario.
Okay.
Sounds so much more boring that way.
Dario is he has to get involved in this match, right? This is the match he like leaves the temple for, and he doesn't come back until after. Oh, does he?
He stays far, far away from this while this is happening, in case anyone has a conversation during a chin lock.
Yeah. Throw the John Cena mics in there; it'll be great. Sorry, we're picking on John Cena this episode. We kid because we love.
Big match adjourned.
But I'm not really familiar with Black Lotus's work, like as a wrestler. Like, is she a wrestler?
Does she have any? I don't know.
I want to say she does, but it's very, very limited. So I'm not sure how this match is going to play out. Really,
she keeps palm striking her opponents to death at the start. So
in cage matches, which is not even one of the rules, I assume that El Dragon Azteca Jr. could wrestle a broom, and it would be interesting. So as long as she's a good broom, I feel like this will be a good match. But I assume that she has some sort of, because they don't just throw people out there in Lucha Underground. This isn't TNA. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
right.
Are
you making up for picking on John Cena now?
Yeah, that's right. I went there. Yeah, I would imagine this is going to be a good match, but I agree. I don't know what it's going to look like just because I don't know what she looks like in the ring. And that's a weird thing to have at Lucha because, like, even with Matanza, I had the feeling he was going to be the business, and he was the business.
Yeah.
This one I'm less sure about.
I mean, if it ends up being a quote-unquote bad match, it's probably going to be edited to look like a decent match.
I always forget the power of editing.
Yeah.
I will say that this is the same company that made me love a Vampiro match in the year 2015. So
the year 2016 of our Lord.
Yeah, and I mean nothing against Vampiro. It's just like when I heard when that was booked, I was like, oh, okay, I wonder if he still got it, and oh my God, he still had it, and it's partially because they got really violent and told a story based around that violence, and you could see maybe the same thing happening just with fewer light bulbs being smashed on people.
Well, I was sold up until the point where I was told there would be no light bulbs.
I said fewer. I said fewer.
Okay. That as long as we still have it.
There were a considerable number of light bulbs broken over people in that match. So.
Some would say too many. I disagree with those people. Do we have predictions? Lotus or Azteca Jr.?
I would say Lotus, but not alone.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, she has her Lotus squad.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Smalls cop-out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be I think Lotus has to win. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's by chicanery / ninja based chicanery. I don't know what type of chicanery, but I'm assuming ninja based.
What is the plural of Black Lotus? Like the members itself, not the group.
The members themselves are.
Wait, can we call them Black Loti? Is that
Black Loti?
Yeah.
Lotuses? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Loti works better.
All right?
And I think we get to decide it because it's our show.
Writing
so,
it to Dario now.
Oh yeah, I meant Lucha Underground was our show because they knew what was in Mark and I's heart, and I would assume yours, Ari. King Cuerno versus Mil Muertes in a death match.
Oh my goodness.
So I think Ivelisse and Taya will be the sleeper best match on the show. But the one I'm going to love the most is going to be King Cuerno versus Mil Muertes. It's a death match with King Cuerno and Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
Does deathmatch mean something different in Lucha Underground too? Like, is one of them literally going to die?
I think that's implied. In a way, it's not in literally any other wrestling other than maybe like old CZW. But I think it's like the old Texas death match where it's really what we now call a last man standing match. But I could be wrong about that. But that was my assumption going in. And I assume someone, because this is Lucha Underground, and more importantly, Ultima Lucha 2, is someone is going to go through the top of the office. I don't know who in this episode it's going to be, but I get the feeling it's probably going to be either King Cuerno or Mil Muertes and King Cuerno.
I'm just wondering if Cuerno is going to hit Muertes with an actual bow instead of his metaphorical bow. He's going to shoot real arrows at him.
So when you said go through the top of the office, you mean climb up to like that second, like the top of the bleachers, and then stand on top of the office, and then like what? Like I guess maybe Meal like just choke slams King Cuerno to hell, but it's really just through the roof and like onto Dario's desk or something.
Yeah. Or the what is the name? I'm completely brain farting on King Cuerno's finisher, but that.
Yeah, the Flecha del Infierno, isn't it?
Yes.
The arrow from hell.
That was way cooler when you said it.
Oh, wait a minute. Is the arrow from hell his finisher, or is it just like one of the really neat things he does?
It's the arrow from the depths of hell is the best suicide
yeah
dive.
Yeah, I think it's just a transition though. I don't think it's a
okay.
Yeah, it should be his finisher. I would like to see him do that like over the fence outside of the top of the office into Mil Muertes onto a stack of 7 tables. That would be
7 specifically. If it's 6, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, well, why even bother? It's the baker's half dozen, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's so many possibilities for this match because it's really hard to, it's important not to forget, I should say, that the start of this feud, more or less, the reason that Mil Muertes is so angry is that King Cuerno put him in a glass case.
He was dead. He wasn't using his body.
But he's come back to life more than once.
Well,
maybe put reinforced glass? I don't know. I'm not a doctor of escaping from death, but if I were, I'd put, I don't know, bulletproof glass on the death monster that you've mounted on your wall.
Is bulletproof glass Mil Muertes proof, though?
It's more Mil Muertes proof than, like, the glass that's on my window, I'm pretty sure.
Like, they can put him in, like, that glass chamber that they put Loki in the first Avengers movie.
Yes. Exactly.
They just need S.H.I.E.L.D.'s budget.
They don't have S.H.I.E.L.D.'s budget? I mean, well, I guess I understand that he's on a limited budget. He's driving around that pickup truck, and he's wearing, no, actually, I'm not even gonna joke about how great those clothes are.
Oh, they're
There's nothing to joke about.
fantastic.
There's not exactly. He just looks awesome. He looks so comfortable. I just want to go hunting with him. Not for people, but for like, I don't know, some sort of.
He lost interest right after you said that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I was really hoping that we could go murder people, but if you're gonna want to go hunt animals, that's terrible. That's disgusting.
I'm afraid that Mortez is gonna kill him and then mount Cuerno's head in his home.
Oh,
It's a death match. See? Yeah. See?
Wait, does he have a home, or does he just live in the rubble?
No, he's going to mount it in Cuerno's home.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Then we'd have no more Cuerno. This is sad. I depressed myself, guys. I'm sorry.
it's fine.
yeah, I'm depressed. I'm sorry. That's why I'm quiet now.
Cuerno has to win because Mortez will just come back to life anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the one advantage. I think that it's going because he's actually King Cuerno, I believe, has had the last man standing match or whatever you want to call it, and he tied somebody down. He like hog-tied somebody to the ring post, I believe. So he's experienced with if this is the type of death match I'm thinking with this type of match. I'm gonna come out with my prediction right now. I think King Cuerno wins this. Does anyone think I'm not crazy?
No, I do not. I think he'll win this too. I mean, I won't be disappointed if he loses. I'll be disappointed if he loses and then we never see him again. Because I keep reading those rumors that, that the WWE was courting him for the Cruiserweight Classic and nothing could come of that because he's contracted to LU. I just really hope that we get to see King Cuerno around for a long time.
You will literally never find someone in more agreement than me about that. I have talked to Mark about this, and I'll get to Mark's prediction in a second. I want a Lucha Underground action figure with the 3 different, like, his regular ring attire, his entrance gear, and then the civilian clothes that he wears.
Yes, I want Cowboy Cuerno action figure so badly.
With bow and arrow action.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, you should write to Lucha include that in the email to Dario.
All right.
What is your prediction? Do you have Cuerno or Muertes?
Violence. Just violence.
So Matanza? I thought.
No. I'm really stuck on this thing where because it's Lucha Underground, someone's gonna die, and I don't want to predict their death. I'm not doing it. You can't make me.
Okay, so Mil Muertes. Okay, cool. That's 1 for Mil Muertes and 2 for the way of the light, which is King Cuerno.
Cuerno is how I got part of how I got Nick to start watching Lucha Underground. By the way, Ari was basically just describing that he had the pickup truck and the baller arrow and his civilian clothes. It's just like going on. And he's like, okay, I'll watch it.
And to be clear, it was a matter of being able to get to it, but once they put it on iTunes, that was the dream. That I watched season 1 in like I watched half of season 1 and then I watched all of season 1 and most of season 2 in like a week and a half, and probably outside of the West Wing, the best television watching experience I've ever had.
More realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that's true.
I agree, honestly. I've yet to be disappointed by an episode of Lucha Underground. Like, there are episodes where I'm like, it was okay, and the rest, like, that's pretty much it for me. It's either amazing or it was like, it's okay. I've never really truly hated an episode.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah, that's true. Wrestling always has a way to break my heart, but I'm really hoping it won't be the case here with Lucha Underground, at least not for a while.
No, I don't think it will. And this is a weird transition. I actually didn't mean it, but I do want to talk. One of the things I love most about Lucha Underground is and they have it earlier in the show, the For a Unique Opportunity, and now the Gift of the Gods Championship. They do such a good job of making gimmicked things not feel totally gimmicky. They make them feel like they're part of like a superhero show, or like a real television show where there's are actually plot points, and not just like briefcases, basically. I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, they actually give you reasons to care about the Gift of the Gods Championship and those individual medallions. I'm very excited, as we all are, I would assume, for another Gift of the Gods Championship. They're all ladder matches, or is this a 7? I may have missed that. Is this a elimination match, or is it a ladder match? Do we not know?
Was the last one just... Oh, was the last one elimination, or was it first one to pin wins?
I think the last one was elimination.
No, the last one was... Oh, I don't remember now. Because Cage threw Chavo on whoever it was that Chavo pinned while he was unconscious.
Threw his carcass on him?
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless of how they do this, there's a lot of good workers in this match. I am most excited for Killshot, but it's Killshot, Sexy Star, Daga.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I just love how Melissa Santos pronounces it.
Oh yeah. I don't look forward to her having to pronounce Marty the Moth Martinez, because that dude still creeps me out. Then there is Mariposa, Sinestro de la Muerte, and Nightclaw, who is basically Black Panther. If you haven't seen him, he's basically Black Panther.
Yeah.
I believe I know who wins this, because I believe Ari and I both spoiled ourselves.
Accidentally. I accidentally spoiled myself. I was trying to research just the actual, meaning behind the belt. I wanted to know if there was any, info on who the 7 tribes were. And then I accidentally spoiled myself on who wins the belt.
Oh, that's good.
You can't look up anything for the show. It's like I wanted to look at the Wikipedia page to see when Ultima Lucha was starting, and then I was like, "What am I doing?" Someone wrote all the results in here. Before I scrolled to them, I remembered that is a thing that people have gone to these shows, and they're like, "Oh, I must let everyone know exactly what has already transpired."
Yeah.
So I'm sure season 3 stuff is already on there.
Oh, definitely. The entire thing. And Wikipedia is such a useful, reliable resource that it's really disappointing that I can't use it.
Right. I look it up constantly to play. Kate, do you know how old this wrestler is?
Do you know how old Wikipedia thinks this wrestler is? I believe is the technical name for the game.
I don't know.
So I am most excited for Killshot because I like the Angelico school of long, skinny dudes that slap their legs really hard when they pretend to kick people. I am least excited about Marty the Moth Martinez because he drives me crazy. Ari, who are you most and least excited for? You don't have to have a least, but you do have to have a most.
Okay, well, clearly I am most excited about Sexy Star. She is my favorite, and I think it's going to be very interesting to watch the match, knowing that both Mariposa and Marty the Moth are in the match with her, and I want to see how that plays out.
Yeah, the only wrestling match I've ever cried after, so that was, that was a rough one. Very cathartic, though.
Yeah.
But yeah. What a beautiful match, but yeah, Mark, sorry, but yeah.
Although I will also say I'm also after Sexy Star, I'm also behind Killshot because he is a wrestler from the Pacific Northwest, which is where I'm located, and we don't have a lot of it's not a huge wrestling community in this area. So it's really just great to see someone like Shane Strickland make it to Lucha Underground and succeed there.
Yeah, I have thoroughly enjoyed all of his work.
Yeah.
Even this Marty the Moth, he just drives me crazy. Mark, most excited for?
Oh boy. I'm I'm excited to see what happens with Daga because it's just been so weird, and I can't tell if he's into what's going on with Cobra Moon or if he's really freaked out by it, if they're gonna join together, or if they're gonna feud because of everything that's going on. So that's probably the thing I am most interested in that you guys didn't already talk about. Um,
I'm excited for Cobra Moon to turn into an actual snake and eat him. Yeah, so yeah, I'm totally excited about that in the match. I assume that's what's gonna happen in this match. That's how they like get rid of him. But
the cobras don't eat their prey like that.
I don't care how they. I just want them to do it. I don't care if it's realistic. I just want a snake to eat a dude. Is that too much to ask?
See, now I'm just imagining her in her like human form, like unhinging her jaw and swallowing him whole.
I'd be fine with that too.
Anything can happen at Lucha Underground.
I guess Drago did turn into a dragon and fly off last season, so
yeah.
Why not have a shoot snake?
You've seen Aerostar's actual like suit light up and shit.
Yeah.
Seen him time travel too.
Yeah.
His space nunchucks.
Oh, I love the space nunchucks. Highlight.
Space nunchucks.
I think
Lucha Underground.
I think when that happened, Ari, you and I both tweeted in all caps, just like space nunchucks.
Yes, I remember that.
So, do we have a prediction for this match? Does anyone think Nightclaw is going to win?
I laughed when you said the name because it's such a silly name.
It's such a comic book name.
It's like I hear Nightclaw and I think Nightboat, like that joke, like that parody of Knight Rider on The Simpsons. I can't help it. Like, and I mean, I have no idea. Like, again, I'm going into this spoiler free. I don't even know who Nightclaw is in like his regular life when he's not Nightclaw. I have no idea how that's gonna play out, but I am interested in seeing him for sure because he's a kitty wrestler. I can't hate that.
I do like that Lucha Underground has now trained us to know that just because someone's debuting doesn't mean they're going to win. So that really does keep this wide open, and there's so many stories playing out and kind of all interlocking here. So it's really not clear who's going to win. I feel like, since I can make a prediction, since I am unspoiled, I feel like maybe it's Sexy Star who's going to come out on top, but that's just, I can't tell if that's what I want or what I think will happen.
The last one-on-one match of the night is after a couple. I feel like they don't do as much as WWE, which is good. I feel like they have this entire card is filled with good singles matches, but the Trios Championship has the potential to be the of the last, because I feel like Prince Puma, Rey, Pentagon, and Matanza are either going to be great or kind of disappointing, where I would guarantee Mundo, Evans, Black versus Drago, Phoenix, Aerostar is going to be it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be bananas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just going to, so many flippy. I'm not a flippy spinny. These flippies and these spinnies can flippy and spinny all night long for me. They're great.
Honestly, I don't even feel comfortable predicting who will win because I'm okay with either outcome.
Yeah.
I just hope it involves space nunchucks and dick punches.
If you punch somebody... Never mind.
If you punch somebody in the dick with a space nunchuck, we just need to know what happens.
Science can't tell us. We just have to see it. It has to be observable. I really love the Trios title. I think it's my favorite title out of any title in any company.
The design or the matches itself?
The matches themselves and just the Trios. I wish the WWE had a Trios Championship very, very badly. But Johnny, Jack and PJ are just, I love that they finally found something for the Daredevil, the
Darewolf.
Yes.
Darewolf.
To do, because WWE never found anything, so it's really nice to see him actually gel with two guys.
I don't know, they let him be handsome for years.
Yeah.
He was really good at it.
One of the best. And Johnny Mundo is he is the best guy in the company to have never, I think, even better than Cuerno, to have never won the Lucha Underground Championship. He's just great. And then you have Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar, who are really great too. But they're not heels, so I really don't care about them.
But they're friends whose relationship transcends species and time.
Yeah, it's great. Do they turn into slow motion when they do stuff with their hands?
Space nunchucks.
Okay, all right. Agree to disagree.
You bring up this trios thing, and it reminded me of, the first trios champions, Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Angelico. And I'm not really up on my Angelico news, but what happened that he hasn't been on TV in so long? Is he out with an injury, or is it part of the storyline? Because didn't they mention in the storyline that he was, kidnapped or something?
I heard he had an accident, which with Dario Cueto could mean my brother ate him, or it could mean, he sprained his ankle and he's going to be out for, 6 weeks.
Okay.
I think he legitimately hurt himself, but they just played it off as storyline. But I might be conflating, a different injury with that. But either way, he's not there.
Okay.
Yeah, because as much as I love Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar, I'm just going to come out and say it. Well, Ari, you're not sure which one to pick. I definitely think it's going to be Johnny, Jack, and PJ. I don't think that Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar have a chance. Now, I might be totally wrong on this, but I just feel like they have magic with those three, and they need to just keep it going. And the best way to do that is to have them steal somebody's space nunchucks and punch them in the dick with their own space nunchucks.
They get away with that usually because Ty is there. I mean, not nunchuck specific dick punching, but Taya is, possibly neutralized by Ivelisse, who might make an appearance. Yeah. So, this is exciting. I'm
getting really hyped for this.
I think Space Dragon Friends win, but I don't know.
I'm really just happy with either outcome, but I think I side with Nick's reasoning more, that Johnny Mundo and PJ Black and Jack Evans are just magic together.
They really are. Before they even formed, I think when they passed by each other in the locker room, I'm like, oh my God, let these fabulous shitheads work together.
Yes.
Please. They're all horrible people, and I just want them to be best friends.
That should be their team name, is the Fabulous Shitheads. Can I make it house style that the Fabulous Shitheads are their name? Is that seconded, Mark? I
mean, I want to come up with a new nickname next week.
But that'll be part of what you can call them, I don't know, the web slingers, what they sometimes call Spider-Man. When they don't want to refer to him directly, they want to side eye him. Okay, so Ari, we asked you to wait until we talked about this match for you to yell at me for how unexcited I am to see Rey Mysterio. So I'm going to give the floor to you. Feel free to say whatever you want to me about why Rey Mysterio is great and why I'm an idiot.
I'm here for moral support and to throw jabs at Nick as needed.
Yeah. He means moral support for you, not for me.
Oh, yeah. No, dude.
Well, this is what I'll say. No, I promise I'm not trying to be menacing or anything. I feel like Rey Mysterio is important to the show, especially with Alberto having left to, seek a bigger paycheck, which, whatever, respect. If he wants more money, then that's, his choice. But I feel like Rey is there because he really wants to be there, and because he just, the thing that I really love about Lucha Underground, just having watched the show and having been to a taping and having talked to, some of the luchadors who work there, is that it's this environment where a lot of Latino wrestlers can work there and not necessarily have to, be concerned with being held down or being made to look like idiots due to racism and xenophobia. And Ray is just, he's a freaking legend, and like in Lucha Libre, and for this person who's so important to the history of Lucha Libre to be on that show is huge for them. And that's the perspective I'm coming from, at least. Not necessarily like, Rey Mysterio is like this amazing wrestler, and he's climbing up there in age, and he has slowed down quite a bit, and he's not how he used to be, but I'm still just really happy that he's there, and no one's gonna make me think or say otherwise.
Yeah, Nick.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say to that.
Owned.
Other than
just take the L, Nick.
It's fine.
I obviously I'm kidding, but no, that's a very good point. I'm glad someone who isn't who actually knows what they're talking about is saying it.
Who isn't just badgering you for saying it? Like, I don't know me.
Yeah, no, and obviously I completely respect that aspect of it. I guess my thing is I worry that I'm going to be disappointed by a match in Lucha Underground, and that's where I'm coming from, because watching him and I haven't seen him since he left WWE, so he could be back to like even 30% of old Ray, because the Psychosis Rey Mysterio match from Bash at the Beach 96, the curtain jerker, is still the best match I've ever seen. Like, it blew my mind watching it 20 years later, basically. Yeah, 20 years later. He's an incredible artist, and while I don't understand from a personal aspect the importance he has to Lucha, I obviously understand the influence he's had on the American style, and that incorporates so much of the Lucha he learned when he first started out. I wish this was El Dragon Azteca, and in this match, I guess. I guess that's what I think of when I think of this match.
That story's not ready to be told yet, though, because, El Dragon Azteca Jr. is really in the position Puma was in a year ago, or fair. More than a year ago, where he's, still learning, and Mysterio is his mentor. And Puma's kind of had to go out on his own, since Conan legitimately died on Lucha Underground, thanks to the coffin, because that happens, guys.
At least he didn't get eaten.
Yeah, that's true. There are worse fates. So, this is really a good moment for Puma to be proving that he is the new face of Lucha. And Mysterio is, still here and wants to prove that, like, his time isn't over yet. If it allays your fears at all, the main event he had with Miss Disease at Triple Mania last year was great, shockingly great. I really enjoyed that, and that was before anyone had seen Mysterio wrestle again since he left WWE. Like, anyone here who wasn't watching AAA, it was so good. Even Miss Disease didn't do any of the stuff you remember him doing as Sin Cara that made him leave WWE in the first place. It was just a really good match, and shockingly, in a kind of a shocking way. And I saw Mysterio work in a baseball park in a triple threat match with El Patron and Matt Hardy, and again, it was like, wow, he's really doing a lot more than I thought he was going to do. So I'm excited to see, he still has it. I'm excited to see how much he has in a match with Ricochet, who is just the most ridiculous opponent Mysterio might have in, at this point in his career, because he's not coming to the end, but the days of him, going toe to toe with someone of Puma's caliber are probably running low.
Yeah, I trust that he is better than the last time I saw him in WWE. He pretty much have to be.
All that time off was really good for his knees, from what I can tell as not a doctor.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys have swayed me. I now feel like I have to check both my white and wrestling privilege. And yeah, no, I'm officially excited about understanding that he still has, not just in the in-ring skill, but as you said, Ari, he has real importance to the Lucha Libre fan community and the Lucha Libre community in general. Is that fair to say? Both of those equally?
I would say so. Just like the overall history of Lucha Libre, really.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I thought that, for lack of a better term, they were kind of playing up. That's a horrible way to put it, but that him calling himself the king, is that something he is do people actually call him the king, or did they just totally make that up whole cloth for Lucha Underground?
El Rey.
Yeah.
I mean, I've called him El Rey in my head. I don't exactly know. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was like something I was just completely oblivious to, but yeah, I guess I don't think he's going to win this match, and that's my prediction, but I'm less worried about what was going to happen in this match than I was 10-15 minutes ago. Ari, who do you think is going to win this match, and I guess, where do you think Ray goes from here? Because it doesn't look like he's leaving Lucha, is that correct?
I mean, I haven't read anything about him leaving Lucha Underground. I really hope he doesn't. Like, I can't, I guess, read about it without also spoiling myself for season 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So hard.
I'm actually predicting that Puma will win, just as kind of like a passing of the torch scenario. Because there isn't really like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there isn't really like any animosity between Puma and Ray, right?
There's a little bit.
A little bit? Oh.
But just because Puma's really coming into his own.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
realizes he can do things on his own.
Yeah, I remember now. He was kind of a little shithead to him in the last episode.
And I
feel he was more than a little shithead. He was actively a jerk.
Yeah.
And my prediction was going to be that Puma wins and turns heel in the process.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. That would be ideal. 2 thumbs up on that one.
That would feel like such a betrayal, though, for me personally, because I really, really love Prince Puma.
Oh, that's why it didn't work.
Would you throw garbage in the ring? As he told you that how much money he made up north, he was going to make up north when he leaves Lucha Underground, because that's the promo I would cut. I would do the Punk / NWO storyline with Prince Puma from here on out. That's my prediction. I think that'll work.
Yeah.
So for the final match of the night, it's the final match of the nights, I should say. It's Pentagon Jr. versus Matanza Cueto. I don't know where this match goes in terms of like, or not. I don't know how long they give it, especially with the 2 matches coming before it. But I have a feeling this is going to be like a hilariously violent match.
Yeah. And I'm about 99% expecting for Vampiro to get involved.
And beat up paddle, like spank maybe with a paddle Pentagon Jr. or yeah, because that was weirdly S&M-y, or am I wrong about that? The thing that they had between Vampiro, just having him strung up, he broke his back, but it just felt weird what they were doing. I guess
it was weird. It was weird.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was just the weird one in that situation.
It was weird, but apparently also motivational. And so, I don't know, man. Just Pentagon Jr. and Vampiro do what they got to do.
We have doing their own dungeon and their own time is between them.
Right? I mean, why even have that dungeon if you're not going to use it for things like that?
Honestly, if Vampiro doesn't show up dressed as like the goth pope again, I'll be really sad.
Oh, man. That vampire pope costume was just so great.
So
And
sick.
we haven't seen Vampiro, like real Vampiro. We've seen Ian Hodgkinson calling himself Vampiro on commentary, but like in the actual temple, we haven't had Vampiro show up. So it would be great if, Vampire Pope just showed up, and possibly with all the light fixtures that they don't break in other matches.
Literally, just the rest of the building goes dark except for the ring because he took out all of the lights. Is that what you're hoping for?
He's just smashing them all on Matanza.
And Matanza just standing there doing weird backflips for no reason.
Reverse power slamming lights.
So, in terms of predictions, I want to talk about this match a little bit more, but this feels like something has to happen and Pentagon has to win, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to win by himself, but I mean, if this version of Pentagon doesn't win and can't win with, Vampiro coming out in his Vampiro form, who is going to beat Matanza? Like, ever?
Ari, do you think Matanza has a chance in this match? I mean, something's going to happen. He's gonna, I don't know, fall into the depths of hell. Something is gonna happen.
Police sting.
Police sting. Ooh.
Oh, we had forgotten about that, didn't we?
Yeah. That that Dario Cueto is the end times. So Matanza, that's actually probably, and what they're just gonna be like, oh, you crazy person who's clearly not well. Here's a gold belt. Have fun. Is that what we think is gonna happen, or do you think he's gonna beat Matanza clean? No, right? That's impossible.
No.
I don't even think beating Matanza clean would be a clean win. It would just feel dirty. It wouldn't feel right. Like, you had to have done something to him to get him into that position. Like, you'd have to tape him to the wall in the Luchador's locker room. That's what you'd have to do.
I mean, he still hasn't lost at all. The closest he came was that draw with Mil Muertes. So, I can't picture. It's hard to picture him losing at all. Never mind clean. But I am not picturing a clean win. I'm picturing one with Vampiro.
And how many masks are left at the end of this match? You can go like fractions, obviously.
If you add the masks together, you still have one mask.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Ari, how many masks left at the end of this match?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with one mask. It's really hard for me to predict who will win this match because it's really hard for me to predict what the outcome would be for either person if they win. You brought up the police sting, which I thought was a really interesting point because they hadn't mentioned that, I don't think, in about 2 or 3 episodes. But Joey Ryan and Cortez Castro being undercover cops and trying to bring down Dario Cueto, I mean, that has to be resolved at the end of the season, right?
Or at least furthered in some way.
Yeah.
Like, we find out who the devil is.
Man, Matanza's going to eat some cops.
Oh, man, that's right, because, Congressman Lorenzo Lamas, I forgot his character's name. I don't even remember if he's a congressman or anything.
It's just Lorenzo Lamas, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's playing it.
Yeah. Lorenzo Lamas, doesn't he have someone in his employ or someone he's answering to that's supposedly more dangerous than Matanza?
Yeah, that's the devil I was talking about. I assume he's going to show up.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Vince McMahon this entire time.
I'm pretty sure Lucha Underground actually takes place in the Buffy universe, and that this is just Wolfram and Hart.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, Nick, I've got more stuff for you to watch.
I don't get the reference either, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I watched Buffy very sporadically.
I promise, guys, it was good. It was a good joke.
My favorite David Boreanaz show was not Angel, nor was it Buffy. It was Bones. So I'm gonna have to.
Until they got together, right? Because then it just went off the rails.
No, It went off the rails when Sweets died, but that's a whole different. I've tweeted about this. It's my pinned tweet. I miss you so much, Sweets.
And I have not watched any of these shows.
Yeah, way to spoil procedural.
You know it deserves to be spoiled. So I think that so you don't have a prediction, Ari.
I don't. Only that it's going to be violent as hell, and that Vampiro will somehow get involved.
And Mark, do you have a prediction? Your prediction is Pentagon, as is mine. That's what it is.
Pentagon wins via Vampiro and Police Sting.
Yeah, and I also have Pentagon via Police Sting, led by Gothic Death Pope Vampiro. Right? That seems like it's layered. It works on a lot of different levels. So I think that wraps up this week's episode. Because Ari has to watch Impact on Pop TV.
Impact on Pop. The first time I've watched Impact in years. I'm just curious about that final deletion, y'all.
I get it. I don't know what that is, but I get it. We've all been there. Like, what is final deletion? Where can they catch you on the internet? Twitter.
Oh, well, my Twitter is Ari_Amaru. So that's MAAMARU. And, well, that's really about it.
You can catch me at The Nixter. That's THEN1CKSTER. That is, I believe, 5 episodes in a row where I've spelled that right. Mark, where can they find you?
On Twitter, Mark_Normandin, and that's Mark with a C. You can read my wrestling writing at sbnation.com/wrestling. Be sure to check out CagesideSeats.com, where I'm not really writing or anything, but other people who work for SB Nation and write about wrestling are. And if you want to read my baseball stuff for whatever reason, no judgment, sbnation.com/MLB is where you can find my national stuff, and overthemonster.com is where the Red Sox specific things are.
Way to be accomplished, Mark.
Well, you know. That's why I do everything, so I can brag about it later.
We can be subscribed to at iTunes. Do we want them to leave a review of any particular kind for their 5-star review?
This podcast would be better with a vampire pope.
That's perfect. This podcast would be better with a vampire pope. You can also catch us at www.soundcloud.com/Rudo Radio. Do you have anything else you wanted to add, Mark?
No, this feels right.
Well, then it's time for bye!